Hello, Splinterlands players. How are you all doing today? So it's the weekend. It's super hot out here in California. Thank goodness I have air conditioning. And so I was able to stay in, play some Splinterlands today. And now it's time to show you the Share Your Battle challenge with the War Chaang. This is a pretty good card from the new set. So first, we'll just take a quick look at it in the art they have for it. I think that's a pretty cool picture. Without a doubt, it's a powerful card from a power idea of the real world. Back when Alexander was taking over the whole world, he had these elephant soldiers that was helping him, right? At least I think so. Now, if we go ahead and come over here and look at the card, I'm showing it at level 3 because I only have it at level 3. I'm taking my time. I'm buying packs of Untamed here and there. I've already invested a lot into the game. So I'm watching the markets. I'm buying them up every once in a while. I bring in some credits. That's why I got a little left over. And I pick up some legendaries, pick up some epics. And this one, even though it's a super strong card, I haven't invested a ton of money into it. I do plan on pushing it to level 4 soon. Probably the next time I bring some money into the game. We just had a dip in the Bitcoin value. So I think we're all like, ugh, we lost some money, right? Everything went down. It dragged the whole market down. And you're like, man, why people be selling crypto? It doesn't make any sense right now. Now back to the idea of this card, though. So it is a ranged or melee attacker with retaliate, and it can have trample. So this card, I use it as in basically high mana matches. I use it in either two positions. The secondary position to the tank, to the third position, as the first sniper target, because at 9 life, and sometimes you can give him an armor or 2 depending on the team you mix him in on, he is a nightmare for a sniper to take out all by himself. And he can even sit there and tank his way through a couple hits from a team of snipers. And so it's a great anti-sniper card. Or you throw him in the last position, and then he can retaliate against sneak monsters while delivering pretty good hits with his range damage. And then if they work their way through the rest of your team thinking they're getting a cupcake at the very end, nope, they're getting a very strong retaliating monster that could have trample eventually. I do see that the level you really want to get this card to is at least level 5, assuming you can play level 5 epics. That way you get that 3 melee attack, and you get as that being able to be frontline. He's also obviously good and range, can attack from any position. Then he becomes a great card in the front row, dealing 4, 5, or 6 damage depending on his level. So it's a strong card without a doubt. It's not as strong as some of the big legendary monsters that are in the game nowadays, but it's a very strong epic. It fits in very, very well into 40, high 30s, or the 99 mana matches, because it's a monster that can attack from anywhere on the board one way or another, and sometimes can attack with everything. Super Sneak is another game mode it's excellent in. Now let's go ahead and get to my battle. In my battle, I went with him in the back position. I'm going to kind of show this one. This is another thing I think he's obviously good with. If you use him with anyone that gives him an extra ranged attack, so Selena or Jotun, you're going to be looking at a more powerful card. So let me just bring up the rule set, and then I'll pause it. You'll see my buff go into place. So this was 44 mana. It was standard rules, so no special rules. 44 mana nowadays, if you got him, you're using Jotun, or you're using one of the other legendary summoners from this new set. I am sure glad I invested in Jotun because he's a powerful card. So the idea here, I went with the big guy up in the front, followed up by, I really put I just had 7 mana left, so I threw my Elemental Phoenix, even though I have not leveled it. I'm sorry. In that second position, just to kind of take some hits. I wanted to kind of protect my my healer from any snipes, because with that big 15 HP guy in the front row, I wanted to be able to land a couple heals. Then I played the Affliction character, hoping to be able to get an Infliction on anyone in the front row if healing was a big factor on their team. And then I left the War Chaang in the last position just in case somebody was playing a big sneak monster or anything else, or if he ended up in the front at the very end versus a couple other ranged monsters that were in the back dealing blows, he would be able to win. Now, mind you here, if you look at my team, this is kind of a testament to how powerful Jotun is compared to a regular summoner, because you've got a maxed out team on that other side. The thing is, I'm not so sure that's a 44 mana team. On my side, I don't have anybody maxed out except for the rewards card healer. So I got a level 3 legendary, a level 2 legendary, a level 3 epic, and 2 level 6 rares. But these cards can work some wonders. So let's go ahead and get the battle going. Obviously, my positioning of him in the back row to maybe get hit by some tanks, some sneak monsters to retaliate, it didn't come into play here. I did set him up to be a 3/3 attacker with the Inspire. I do have that big front row attacker there. This was a very key attack because it cleared that armor out of the way, which is going to let my main character, my main tank, get that big hit on this one. The heal there almost messes that up, but it lowers his speed, so then that guy goes in front, and now his speed is back up. I did get the affliction there, but I'm not going to need it because I'm going to blow him out of the water and blow him out of the water. And this is one of the fun things about the fire team. I don't even have any speed buffs on my team. My characters are just fast. So he really didn't get very many attacks off, even with his character having a speed boost. And then the trample kicks in there. They had the armor, which saved them. Otherwise, I would have wrecked his team really quick. But now they're starting to fight back. Here I come, though, with a nice, powerful hit. You get the heal. And now we're sitting in the position. The other reason I put the mage in the was so that if it went to the front row, it could still attack. And it is a flying tank, so you saw it got a miss. Right there, we got a nice fact that my monster has a 6 speed, so I was able to take out his. Now we get our magic damage up, and this match is really just going to get out of hand. You wouldn't think that a lower level team would clear out another player's maxed out team like this, but sometimes when those legendary summoners, they just give you too much power. And I know I didn't really feature the War Chaang as the star of the show. He can be the star of the show. Here, he was solid. He hit twice really hard from his position. He had the splash damage on him. He did everything I needed him to do. And if things had gotten dicier up front, if I would have had a couple of misses or things would have been different, I would have had that high 9 life last character to wrap up the battle. So I hope, you kind of got a little bit of an idea from my recap of the card of how you can use it. I hope that you're enjoying the game. I know there's a lot of things changing. I know collections powers change the game a lot. Some people look at it as something negative. I think that it's a short-term negative, a long-term positive. This isn't a game that's meant to be free to play. It's a game that's meant to be fun to play and get you to willing to invest money in it. I know I used to buy Magic cards. I used to buy Versus cards. I used to pour tons of money into those physical cards. And I'd play in some tournaments, and every once in a while I might win some booster packs. I think one time I won a little bit of money, but it was very rare. It was a pain in the butt to go to a tournament. They were only on the weekends. It had to be a weekend you weren't working. This place has tournaments going on every day. It's an old school card player's dream, and the more the sets come out, you can see, you can compete. Even at the top level, I'm Champion 1. I just wiped the floor with another team, and none of those cards were really maxed out except for one that you could get for free. So the game is competitive at these top levels if you know what you're doing and you have the right cards, and maybe you spend a little bit of money. Honestly, you would have had to buy the Jotun. And I'm not going to try to pretend like that's not an expensive card, because this card is $141 right now, which is insane. I got it for much, much, much cheaper than that, but I'm glad I did. I'll talk to you all later. Going to end it right there. Goodbye.